Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between lush green fields and rolling hills, there lived a young man named Alex. He was in the prime of his life, yet he found himself drowning in a sea of despair and unhappiness. Every day felt like a relentless storm, and he couldn't see the sun peeking through the clouds of his existence. Alex had heard tales of a wise Zen master living in a nearby town. People said that this master possessed profound wisdom and the ability to bring peace to troubled souls. Driven by his desperation, Alex decided to seek out the Zen master in the hopes of finding a solution to his problems and learning the secret to happiness. With a heavy heart and a cloud of melancholy following him, Alex embarked on the journey to the town where the Zen master resided. The path was long and arduous, and at times it felt as if the weight of the world was upon his shoulders. But his determination to find happiness pushed him forward, step by step. Finally, after days of travel, Alex reached the town where the Zen master lived. The master was renowned for his ability to provide guidance and solace to those who sought his wisdom. Alex stood before the Zen master, his eyes brimming with tears, and said, "Sir, my life is plagued with problems, and I am constantly engulfed in sadness. Please, I implore you, tell me the solution. How can I find happiness?" The Zen master listened intently, his eyes seeming to gaze deep into Alex's troubled soul. After a moment of silence, the master unexpectedly got up and walked away, leaving Alex bewildered and uncertain. He had expected words of wisdom and guidance, but instead he found himself in a state of confusion. Though puzzled, Alex decided to wait for the master, for he believed that the Zen master held the answers he so desperately sought. He waited in silence, with the cool breeze of the town rustling the leaves around him. After a while, the Zen master returned, holding a glass of water in one hand and a bowl filled with salt in the other. The Zen master instructed Alex to take a handful of salt from the bowl and put it into the glass of water. Then he told Alex to drink the water. Puzzled but willing, Alex followed the master's instructions. As he sipped the water, his face contorted in discomfort. "It is terrible," he said. "All I could taste was salt." The Zen master nodded and then asked Alex to accompany him to a nearby lake. They walked together to the serene lake, where the water was clear and inviting. The master instructed Alex to put the remaining salt from his hand into the lake. Alex did as he was told, watching the salt dissolve into the vast expanse of the lake. When the salt was gone, the master urged Alex to drink the water from the lake. Alex cupped his hands, scooped up some water and took a sip. His eyes widened in surprise. "Sir," he said, "this water tastes good. I couldn't taste any salt in it." The Zen master smiled, his eyes filled with profound wisdom. He asked again, "Could you taste the salt in this water?" Alex shook his head, realizing that the salt had been completely diluted in the vastness of the lake. "No, not at all," he replied. The Zen master gestured for Alex to sit beside the tranquil lake, the rippling water reflecting the azure sky. With a comforting tone, the master placed his hand on Alex's shoulder and said, "My dear friend, the pain in life is like that pure salt. No more, no less. The amount of pain in life remains the same for everyone, but the intensity of that pain depends on the container into which we put it. So when you are in pain, the only thing you can do is enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass and become a lake." As the Zen master spoke these words, Alex felt a weight lift from his heart. He began to comprehend the profound meaning behind the lesson. The glass of water and the lake became powerful symbols of patience and perspective. The pain and difficulties in life were like the salt, a fixed quantity. But it was up to the individual to determine how they would experience and perceive that pain. If you have only a little patience, like a small glass of water, even minor problems in your life will start feeling overwhelming. The smallest grains of salt will make the water bitter, and your experience will be tainted by your impatience. You'll find yourself drowning in negativity, unable to see past the pain and difficulties that arise. On the other hand, if you cultivate an abundance of patience like a vast, expansive lake, even the most substantial problems will not disturb your inner peace. Just as the lake dilutes the salt, your immense patience will dilute the bitterness of life's challenges. You'll remain tranquil, focused and serene, regardless of the storms that may come your way. Certainly, difficulties and sorrows are part and parcel of every person's life. There's no escaping them, for they are an essential aspect of our existence. In fact, it's through these difficulties that we often discover our true strength and resilience. Without the presence of sorrow and pain, we cannot fully appreciate the moments of joy and happiness. Alex sat by the tranquil lake, absorbing the wisdom of the Zen master's words. He felt as if a veil had been lifted from his eyes, and he began to understand the power of perspective. The pain and challenges he faced were like the salt, and his ability to dilute that pain depended on his patience and perspective. Over time, Alex began to embrace the wisdom of the Zen master in his daily life. He practiced patience like a vast, expansive lake. He allowed himself to step back from his problems and see them in the context of his entire existence. As he did, he noticed a profound change within himself. The difficulties that once seemed insurmountable now appeared manageable, and his unhappiness began to fade.